World out there, it's cold. Yes, look at me. uh, it is early. I woke up early. Decided I was done with laying there shivering. Okay, was I shivering? It was cold. My little heater went out yesterday, and uh, there was something wrong with the knob. I think I mentioned that in another video. Anyway, and or maybe I didn't. I can't remember. So I have a little radiator heater in here. It's a really small, tiny room, and and it works really well. And I regulate it. So if I'm in here, I turn it up a little, and then when I leave, I turn it way down. I can't turn it off completely. It's so cold. It's been probably the coldest January I've gone through in several years. And the snow is still out there. There's still snow. After all these days, which is a bit, yeah, it's not. I don't remember that in some time that the snow stuck like that. It's so cold. It's just so cold every day. It's just cold. And if I turn the heat off all the way here, June has a big old fur. I don't think as long as she's up here on the bed, she wouldn't get too cold. Uh, but my plants can't take it. Yes, so I have to have a little bit of regulated heat in here, and so but I noticed that when I turned it down, something was wrong with the knob. It wouldn't go as easy as it used to. Anyway, I told my son-in-law, and he came and checked, and he said, "Yeah, something's really wrong with it." So anyway, but it was still heating, and then suddenly I realized, man, it's really cold in here, and I noticed that it wasn't working anymore. I pulled it out of the plug, and it kind of sparked a little too. Anyway, all is well, and I'm getting another little heater today. In the meantime, and I could have slept over at the other house, but I don't want to. And it still was working when I went to bed, but I woke up all blah, 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 blah. It's cold in here. It's 34 degrees outside. It says, I think it's colder than that. Well, anyway, so here I am, all bundled up. Yes, the animals seem to be perfectly fine. Still way warmer in here than it is outside. And I have to tell you, nights like this, okay, being cold, I could have thrown another blanket on top of me. I was too lazy to get up. I was warm enough, obviously, not to want to get up. But in a way, I feel times like this are needed where you're not 100% comfortable all the time. Do you know what I mean? I remember how Nancy, if Nancy ever listens to these, she's gonna get a hoot out of this one. We went in February. We went to visit with all of our children, and I think my oldest one wasn't more than 8 or 9, maybe, which made my youngest one. So I had as I'd say, 9, a 7, and a 5-year-old, and we went, and she had about the same ages, and we went to visit a friend who took trips with us in the homeschooling group. We went to visit him in Santa Cruz in the mountains in February, and we ended up sleeping outside on the porch, which was partially covered. And it got really cold, and it rained. So, what my friend and I did, Nancy and I, we had all the children in the middle, and she was on one side on the outside, and I was on the outside on the outside. Oh my gosh. I woke up. That was a night, I tell you, a night to remember. I just thought just about every minute of that night, it'll be morning eventually. I remember my feet were so cold. There was in the morning, so it rained and then it stopped raining, and my sleeping bag was partially wet and it was all frozen. Where Anyway, the one thing that I remember is that every so often I would raise up and make sure the children were warm. And they were all knocked out. They were all asleep, dead asleep. And Nancy never moved either. And I seemed to be the only one who just went, oh my gosh, it's cold. And morning will come eventually. And morning did come. And a cup of coffee. Anywho, I have to say, it was, again, I remember laying there and just going, it's good to go through this every once in a while. Okay, self inflicted, yeah. To just know how blessed we are when you have enough warmth, a dry place, a bed to sleep in. Yes? Yeah. So last night I had a bed to sleep in, but it was cold. And I was kind of, and I just I laid there and going, this is good. One should know every once in a while what it is like to be cold. To be cold and let that be an experience as well. It kind of I feel like for me it's to remember then all the people who really are cold can't make a change in a way, or gotten themselves deep enough in where, okay, I'm just saying, and they're cold. I think especially though about children who can't. What are they gonna do, right? If they're not taken care of properly and they are cold? Yes. Cold like that, I think for a child that can seep into their soul and their heart, makes them cold as an adult, maybe. I don't know. As I always say, if you have children, please take good care of them. Make sure that they're all right. Because every child is born just the most absolute beautiful little being. And then what do we do to them? Alright, just saying. Then we shouldn't be surprised when sometimes things go really wrong within them. And then what? Suddenly innocent people have to pay for that. Well, I'm just saying. That came to my mind, so let's get going here. On Psalm, in the book of Psalms, my contemplating self here. Oh, yeah, I'm contemplating, yes. Psalm 98, 99, and 100. Oh, that goes for animals too. In these really cold nights, I don't know where it all came from or where, I mean, this morning we went out and I heard a dog, somewhat off in the distance. Sounded, I'm not sure, maybe it was just let out to go pee and now it's at the door going, let me back in. Uh, kind of whining, this just desperate little barking going on. And I heard that almost every night when I would go out or just get up early and run to the house real quick for something. That animal would be, that I would hear an animal going, what is that animal doing outside? For that period of time, and for as long as it lasted. They get cold too. Anyway, I don't know how people can be so heartless. I don't understand it. Again, I'm not sure if that really happened here or it was just, as I said, oh, needed to go out. It's cold, so they closed the door. Maybe went and made a cup of coffee as well, and so the animal wasn't let in right away. But it wasn't. So, but I know that people do leave their animals outside and it's freezing cold with hardly no shelter, right? And of course the water freezes then, and I have no water. I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand that heartlessness in people. I just don't understand. Then when it comes to children, that's just okay. All right, Daniela, get going. You're gonna get too deep into something that you can't change just yet. I know. All right, in the book of Psalms, Psalm 98. all it says is a psalm. Oh, I guess we are still in the psalms that were given by Moses. A prayer of Moses, the man of God. That's just Psalm 90, though. And it's 90 to 106. And then after that, it doesn't say for each psalm. So this just says a psalm. Oh, sing to the Lord a new song, for he has done marvelous things. His right hand and his holy arm have gained him the victory. The Lord has made known his salvation, his righteousness he has revealed in the sight of the nations. He has remembered his mercy and his faithfulness of to the house of Israel. He has remembered his mercy and his faithfulness to the house of Israel. The heck does that mean now? Gosh, and how did he pick God here? I just don't like it. All the ends of the earth have seen the salvation of our God. All right. It's just a song, a something. Shout joyfully to the Lord, all the earth. Break forth in song, rejoice and sing praises. Sing the Lord with the harp, and the sound of a psalm, with trumpets and the sound of a horn. Shout joyfully before the Lord, the King. I wonder why people are so enthralled with kings and queens and princes and princesses. I never got that. Huh? What do you think, June? I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let the sea roar and all its fullness, the world and those who dwell in it. Let the rivers clap their hands. Let the rivers clap their hands. Rivers don't have hands. That's so weird. Let the hills be joyful together before the Lord, for he is coming to judge the earth. With righteousness he shall judge the world and the peoples with equity. You know, I get it. There is a fantasy world out there for people, okay? I understand that. It's fun. I used to read fiction novels all the time, okay? I loved the science fiction ones a lot. I liked other ones too, but those I really liked. And, who doesn't love the Lord of the Rings, right? Yes? Okay. I read the books kind of. I was not as enthralled with them as other people are, but I loved the movies. Man, the first three anyway. The other stuff I wasn't. The one that just came out, my daughter was. I talked about that in another video. Really into. She really wanted to see. Oh, she couldn't wait. And then she watched it, the first one or two or three episodes, and I said, "So, oh yeah, I did. It was an episode thing. It wasn't a movie thing." And I said, "How is it?" She says, "Well, I'm a little disappointed." I'm going, "Really?" And I thought, "Oh, now I have to watch." And I did, and I had to say too, okay, no, it wasn't the same, right? But I loved The Lord of the Rings. All three of them, three movies that they made, thought they were fantastically made. And supposedly they followed pretty good in the book, though it's not really true. The ending in the book is completely different than the ending in the movies. Well, anyway, so there it is. But it's fiction, okay? Yeah, it's fiction. And the thing is the Bible isn't supposed to be fiction. The Bible is supposed to be a good account of the presence of God, right? Yes? And on how the principles of creation and the principles of love work in this world, how they were established and how they do not change. Yes. And it I said the river, let the rivers clap their hands, let the hills be joyful together. That's fantasy stuff. Okay, that's it. Yeah, I get it. Poetry, songs, and it's some of it has some truth in it, or is based on something, and that has its place. right? Entertainment. Well, the Bible isn't supposed to be entertainment. The Bible's supposed to be, well, True Father always said it's a textbook. Of what? Exactly. Teaching me what? That the rivers have hands and they clap together? Okay, never seen that in my life before. Okay. Bubbling brook. Now that I understand better. I'm just saying. All right. So here we got the first one down. Psalm 99. So, what is fiction doing in the Bible? Again, no wonder. Right? And in the way that God again is portrayed, right? We make him into this fiction character, right? Yes, because that's how we want it. It's either we need someone to revere, okay, or we need someone to what? Fight our battles for us, right? Yes, yeah. Battles we created, conflict we created, and God needs to take care of it. I'm just saying. How the heck is that right? It's almost as if we can have a merciless, wrathful, angry, vengeful God that needs to be feared, we have an excuse to have that coldness in our hearts as well. Well, God's cold. Well, that's pretty heartless. Some of the stuff here that they want God to do, it's heartless. It's heartless. It's cold. Right? Again, is it because we are heartless? Be interesting. Go through a whole day, just one day, to think. Okay, was I heartless today? Was I cold today about something? Thinking about something, doing something, not taking care of something. Right? Yes. One day. And I have a feeling, including myself, I'd had to admit, oh, wow, why did I think like this about something or someone? Well, I'm sure that I would find at least one thing where I'd have to say, I could have handled that nicer, in a better way, if I were more practiced on being kind, right? Yes? Regardless. Why does there always have to be a but to that, But if other people are, well, what does that matter? That shouldn't matter to me. If I truly have that belief in my heart of the origin of where we come from, who created us. Do you know what I mean? Okay, just saying. Ugh. I know, I'm trying. Oh. Psalm 99. The Lord reigns, let the people tremble. Okay, again. He dwells between the cherubim. Let the earth be moved. I thought the earth couldn't be moved. Oh, it's the mountains. Of course the earth moves around this and that. Okay, all right. You know what? Ugh. They can't make up their mind. The Lord is great in Zion. Oh, and at that time they did not know that. And he is high above all the peoples. Let them praise your great and awesome name. He is holy. The king's strength also loves justice. You have established equity. You have executed justice and righteousness in Jacob. Exalt the Lord our God, and worship at his footstool. He is holy. Moses and Aaron were among his priests, and Samuel was among those who called upon his name. I'm not sure if you can call Moses. Moses was, okay, you know what? I'm not going to get into that. They called upon the Lord, and he answered them. He spoke to them in the cloudy pillar. They kept his testimonies and the ordinance he gave them. That's a good way of saying that. Instead of giving it out, they kept it to themselves. Yeah, okay, all right. You answered them, O Lord our God. You were to them God who forgives, though you took vengeance on their deeds. See, told you. Exalt the Lord our God and worship at his holy hill, for the Lord our God is holy. So here is God. He's so holy. They're praising him, this and that. But at the same time, they have to throw this in. You answered them, O Lord our God. You were to them God who forgives, though you took vengeance on their deeds. Yeah, see, it well, anyway, okay, it's still like that today. There is hardly any doctrine out there that doesn't exactly treat God like that. Oh, he's the all-loving God, this, that, and if you just trust in him, you know. But he's also, well, no, he's not. He's not. He's the absolute most amazing parent that anyone could have in every regard. Psalm 100. Wow, such a milestone. We're at Psalm 100. A psalm of thanksgiving. Oh, yeah, let's see how thanksgivingful this is here. Make a joyful... I am so jaded right now. Oh, right there. Look, I didn't even make it past 6 a.m. And there's a coldness that... What? Yes, I feel towards this. I do. I shouldn't feel that way. All right, all right. You see? Yes. Okay. And like the thing is, I can't say, oh Lord, forgive them. They didn't know what they were doing. They did know what they were doing. It comes out every so often. Oh, they did know about this. They did know about that. Right? Yes, it wasn't just about, oh, it was so many thousands of years ago when all this was done or written down, or they didn't know. They didn't have the knowledge now that we have, or intelligence even. Right? That's not true. They did. They knew, and they were intelligent. Very intelligent. A psalm of thanksgiving. Make a joyful shout to the Lord, all you lands. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. Know that the Lord, he is God. It is he who has made us and not we ourselves. Well, that's a good acknowledgement. We are his people and the sheep of his pasture. I am not a sheep. And I don't like these comparisons at all. Enter into his gates with thanksgiving and into his courts with praise. Be thankful to him and bless his name. For the Lord is good. His mercy is everlasting and his truth endures to all generations. Okay. Yes. Amazingly, it has endured. Right? Yes? That's the amazing thing. To me. Nothing has endured like to believe in the one God once that came into being. That's amazing, isn't it? Everything else has come as a trend and flown away and done. But not God, our heavenly parent, our heavenly Father, our heavenly Mother, the creator of it all. By so many people is acknowledged. If it were just humbug, that would have come and gone, just like everything else. Yes? Yeah. You think like that, and you're going, huh, that's true. How did that endure? How did that survive? Yes, because it's true. There. I like that Psalm 100 actually. That's a pretty good one. Oh, the sheep thing. I don't get why people, again, I've said this many times before. I'm saying it again because it is in Psalm 100. But the only thing, we are his people and the sheep of his pasture. No, we're not. We're not sheep. I own goats. And we're not goats either. It's not, goats are not evil and sheep are not good. All of it is good. God created them, and on the sixth day, he said, on the fifth day, he said, all the animals and stuff he created, we're all good. Everything's good. Everything fits perfectly into his creation, how he, as a masculine and as a feminine president, presence, created everything. Yes, as the masculine, as the more stronger, and yes, it is what it is. I ain't gonna go and we were taught for so long one way. It's very difficult to just switch around. It's difficult for me too, but I'm making the effort. And I think to acknowledge that God is not just a masculine being, but also a feminine being, in a way, having both attributes, right? Oh, so is he man and woman, like, like the gender thing? No, come on now. Can we not? And there's our intelligence that comes in, where are you doing this on purpose, trying to turn things around like that? Okay, if anybody were to do that, and not a misunderstanding or willfully misunderstanding stuff like that, why? Why? Oh, because one needs an excuse to keep on doing whatever because one has dug a pit, a hole, which one stepped into. Now you can't get back out of it without having to give in, without a helping hand. Do you know what I mean? And then one has to stick with the narrative one has created or believed of someone else or made up oneself. Do you know what I mean? Yes. Anyway, I'm not like that. I like progression. Yes, I'm not against technology either. No, I don't believe that AIs will ever take over or this or that. That's a bunch of baloney. My heater just went out. I unplugged it. That's completely dead. That's an AI too. It's a heater AI, if you ask me. It's pretty fabulous how they create something like this that you can plug in the wall and just turn it and it starts to heat up, right? Yes, I know how it works, but it's just saying. Someone had to come up with the idea. So, in a way, that's also an AI. My AI went out. I gotta get another one. I'm just saying, okay? So we're capable of incredible intelligence. We're capable of that, and we're using it to. I have seen it often being used to play dumb. So that one does not have to change one's own narrative. How's that going to help anything? I went to a comic that was on my daughter's bachelorette party. We went to a comic show. And yeah, it was a different bachelorette party. It wasn't one of those going to the bar drinking and all that jazz. No, it was really fun. And a few of us with my oldest daughter, and we went to see a comic show, and then we went out to eat and just talked. And it was just like five or six of us, and it was wonderful how they recounted stories from college and school otherwise, and it was great. I loved it. Uh, Very peaceful evening. Everybody was able to drive home. Nobody needed to. You see, yeah, okay. And nothing weird happened. Which again, I don't. Why do people even just before you get married you have some? Okay, You know what? I'm not gonna go there. Weird. Just such weird. Such coldness in their hearts just before they get married. Yeah, that's coldness in one's heart. And when you have these bachelor and bachelorette parties that are just no, why would you do that just before you get married? So cold towards the love that you have for each other. Oh, to live it out one more time. Are you kidding me? Okay. Anyway, maybe people don't really do that, and maybe it's just okay. I don't know. I only went to this one bachelorette party, which was my oldest daughter. And a guy says, "Oh, we're all living in this hologram, right?" He says, "No, it's true." So a couple of German scientists, we could all be living in this hologram, and it's all just makeup stuff, makeup fantasy stuff. And I'm going, no, no. And then as he said a few more things, and I'm going, no, done. Some of it was funny. He was funny, but then there was some things in there. I'm going, just do your comedy show. I'm not here for some political stuff or whatever. And So I think that sometimes when it comes to just furthering our lives and our which also is part of restoration and our descendants' lives, is not playing dumb and holding on to things that, well, we know that's not true anymore and it doesn't make sense. To me, it makes perfect sense that God encompasses both a masculine and feminine nature because He created it. He, she created it. Yes. But that I'm not confusing God of having two genders. That's not what I'm saying. But in order for one to not have to change out there, or for people to not want to understand that, one will go into the area of the weird. Oh, but then that means no, it doesn't. Stay on the ground with stuff like that, and just acknowledge. Oh, that's why I call instead of just Heavenly Father, and it still comes out. It still feels right to say that as well. But I really, really, really want to embrace the idea, the truth of that God is a parent. A parent that sometimes you need a father, sometimes you need a mother. Yes. And it is in the divine principle explains that really beautifully on how in 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 each of us, right, there, if you are a man, there are feminine aspects. Yes. Softer aspects. And in a woman, it's the same thing. Though I am female, right, there I also have some masculine traits. Yes? Yeah. What they are, this and that, is maybe in each person's life a little different, but I don't think, again, that's not that hard to figure out. The harder side of life, the strength, the kind of macho thing, that most men have going on. Come on now, be honest about it. And then the women, who are the more softer part, the nagging part. I'll admit to that too. But, so, anywho, so I really want to embrace that parent, that heavenly parent, which can, in whatever need, it is a father or a mother. I think that's beautiful, because then, even if one has some bad experiences with a father or a mother, it doesn't matter. It won't matter, because God encompasses both. And there is your true parent. Okay? Yes? That's why they call them biological parents here on Earth. I'm just saying. Who came up with that? Oh. Why even mention that? That's because we have a spiritual parent. Yes? All right. Well, anyway, that's it. I've got to go over to the house. Ooh. May Heavenly Parent bless and protect you, guide you, and embrace you with love. And I will talk to you all God given tomorrow. Or maybe today again. Who knows?